Well, it's Eric with Cruising with Eric coming at you again with another live news you can use bit. Again on Friday, just like I promised. So, Carnival ship got delayed for environmental complications. Royal Caribbean's bypassing San Juan again. Carnival's cookie crackdown. It's been a wild week in cruising. Let's dive in and talk about the latest cruise updates. So, Carnival. So the Carnival Magic was supposed to depart on its next sailing tomorrow, the 25th of January. Well, they're still going to go, but they're going to be delayed in that departure because the charter that's ending tomorrow is going to be a little bit take a little bit more time to um, clear out. Hello, Ilio. You want to join me here? Okay. So the ship rocked charter that's currently having a blast on the Carnival Magic is arriving on time tomorrow, but because of the quote unquote celebrities and all the additional gear, all the the speakers and the soundboards and all that that's currently on board the ship, they expect it's going to take an extra couple of hours to completely debark the ship. So their Carnival's advised all the people that are booked on the current or on the sailing that leaves tomorrow to just push back their arrival by 2 hours. So if you're scheduled to arrive 12:30 to 1 o'clock, well, now your boarding is 2:30 to 3 o'clock. So unfortunately, your departures. Well, your departures, yeah, it's going to be delayed a little bit, but hopefully they'll be able to get back on track pretty quickly. Um, so unfortunately, it looks like you're going to have some extra time at the to enjoy the terminal snack bar. Maybe that's a hidden gem, or maybe there's a hidden gem there, or maybe it's just overpriced pretzels. Either way, don't let it ruin your cruise, please, because you're still going on cruise and you're still going to have a great time. It's just going to start a little bit later. Next up, Royal Caribbean. Unfortunately, they're going to continue skipping San Juan as a port of call, at least until looks like the end of February. So they announced that the Symphony of the Sea sailing on February 22nd, they had to juggle the ports of call because basically they're doing some construction to the pier where the Symphony will tie up. In San Juan, and it's just not going to be ready on time. It's not going to be ready. So instead of going to San Juan and Saint Martin, whoever's booked on that sailing is going to Labadee and Falmouth, Jamaica instead. I'm being told by the choir here that it's Falmouth, Jamaica. I apologize if I mispronounced it. um, the guests who are booked on the sailing have already been notified, and that'll allow them to adjust what they're doing. If they booked any excursions already or anything like that, they've already been canceled. They're going to be refunded, if they haven't already been already. So this, unfortunately, this pier issue has been going on for a while now. Hopefully, Royals now saying that they're hoping that it will be fixed by the end of February, so that March sailings and beyond won't be impacted by this. So. Um, Looks like the pier in San Juan is taking a little vacation of its own. Guess it needed a break from all the ships. Next up, Carnival. This was a cute story. Well, to me anyway. I'm sure some people didn't find it funny. So Carnival's cracking down on cookies. So Carnival was recently approached by a soon-to-be passenger who asked them if she would be allowed to set up a table on the promenade deck or on the pool deck somewhere and sell her daughter's Girl Scout cookies while they're at sea. I give the woman credit for the guts it takes to ask that question, but unfortunately, no. The Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador John Heald has confirmed that that will not be allowed. Mainly because if they allow one group to do it, then that sets the precedent, and all of a sudden they're going to be having, you know, 32 different, um, nonprofit groups wanting to sell their cookies, their popcorn, their chocolate, their candy, whatever. And yeah, that's just not what Carnival's looking for. No. And actually, brand ambassador put up a poll on the Carnival's, or actually, I was on Mr. Heel's Facebook page, and 49,000 people responded, and 36% of them said, "Yeah, it's not a good idea to do it." Um, and I get it. It's. I mean, besides the fact that the cruise contract that you sign with Carnival has a strict no soliciting policy. It's just causes disruptions, and it just now, if you want, you can bring your own Girl Scout cookies on board and consume them yourself. You can't sell them, but if you're addicted to Thin Mints and peanut butter patties, you can bring your own on board. Now, if you happen to see me on board and you have a couple peanut butter patties to share, I would be your best friend, at least for that day. Um, so yeah, I thought that was kind of a cute story. Next up, the Serenade of the Seas. Unfortunately, the passengers who were booked on the March 9th sailing from Tampa, I'm sure they've already been notified, but Royal Caribbean is canceling that sailing. That sailing was supposed to be the last one before they go in for scheduled maintenance for a scheduled dry dock. But basically, even though most of the ship's systems are currently functioning normally, they've decided to, based on the advice from the repair facility, the repair facility said they're going to need more time to complete all the repairs. So Royal kind of bit the bullet, canceled the March 9th sailing, and is putting the ship in dry dock a little bit earlier than expected to get be done and out on time. So those people that are affected, you've kind of got two options. You can either rebook on an alternate sailing, with price protection for the original stateroom category and onboard credits, somewhere between $150 and $400 per stateroom, depending upon the type of stateroom that you purchased. Or you can request reimbursement. They'll reimburse you up to $200 for domestic travel changes, $400 for international travel changes, plus a full refund and a 20% future cruise credit. So that kind of your two options. You got to figure out which one fits you best, fits your desires. Me personally, if there's another sailing on those same dates that is even somewhat interesting, I would probably just switch to a different ship for those same dates, just because by this point, I mean, the March 9th sailing, you're talking what, 5 weeks, 6 weeks away. I'm sure I would have my travel arrangements already scheduled, the pre-cruise hotel already done, everything all in place. I'm wanting to go on a cruise. So even if it's not the one that I desired, I'm still going to want to go on. So it looks like the Serenade of the Seas needed a little bit more TLC than expected. So I guess even ships need a spa day every now and then. Last but not least, the Carnival Freedom. Carnival Freedom's January 23rd departure was delayed for several hours because of an environmental issue. Now, there were no official announcements, but social media, several people that were on the ship have posted on social media that they did report seeing an oil leak from the ship, or at least oil was visible on the water. So yeah, they had to pause their departure to get that cleaned up and taken care of, which at this point looks like they have, because the ship did depart. Now their itinerary, on the other hand, they had not announced any changes to the itinerary, but it's possible that we're going to end up getting news that they did have to change either the stop in Nassau or the stop in Princess K's, just because they're it's not a long sailing, so if they left really late, that could cause issues. So obviously, several of the passengers on board were pretty frustrated when, they were supposed to take off at, I believe, 4 p.m. and they're sitting up on the deck waiting for the sail away party, waiting for to see the big, the beautiful ship, leaving the port, and she's still sitting there. So, um, but yeah, don't worry, the ship isn't stuck. It was just getting a little more time to reflect on its environmental choices. So that's about it for today. I hope you all learned a little bit and enjoyed it. My doggy Rocco's praising me for doing it, if you heard him. But anyway, I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya.